hello there. I have an hour until I'm getting the bus to go out with my friend, but basically I decided while I had some time, apologise, I'm always fidgeting with my hair, but I decided while I have some time before I need to go out, or before I'm going out, I thought I would follow up on the video that I just did recently on the 5 tropes that I hate in books, and I'm gonna follow up with some tropes that I love. So the first trope that I love in books is the I don't even know if this is a real one, when the villain has been hidden in plain sight all along. So for example, like in Harry Potter, we know Voldemort is the villain, we know that he's evil, and after kind of like the Philosopher's Stone, well, from the Goblet of Fire onwards, we know who he is. We know when we come face to face with him that he's the bad guy. I don't mean like that. I mean like, say our hero has an unknown villain, or maybe they just have a name, but they've never actually met this person or seen this person, and then the villain is revealed, and it's like in Harry Potter, when it turned out that no, it was not Snape who was out to get Harry, it was Professor Quirrell. Like, plot twist. A plot twist villain. That's what we love. We love a plot twist villain. Well, I do, anyway. I just love it when, rather than being told, look, this is the bad guy, we don't like him, we're afraid of him, he's evil, I love it when we think we know who the villain is, or we just don't know who it is, we just know that someone out there is the evil guy, and then the name's revealed, and it's like, it was you all along, it was you! I don't know, I love that. I love that. I feel like it's not something I really see that much. I haven't been reading a lot of like fantasy type books for a while, apart from Lord of the Rings. But even like Saruman being revealed as like, you know, Gandalf went to him and spoke to him, and it was like, he was like, yo, let's join Sauron, let's join his side and, you know, win in team. So I suppose that in a way was a bit of a villain in plain sight. But no, that is definitely a trope that I do love. I do love like a villain reveal, and it turns out to be someone we know and someone we might love. Like, the betrayal. The betrayal is just... Okay, so my second trope that I feel like a lot of people probably hate, but I love, is the love story with a bad boy. This is a bit of a funny trope, but like, if it's a genuine, like, if it's like a story set in like a high school and it's just this dickhead bully or whatever, no, I'm down for that. But when it's this is just gonna be me revealing all my crushes, but like villains that you can't help but love, or I'll call them bad boys rather than villains, but like just those kind of no good bad boys, or girls, you know, can have a bad girl as well. I low-key love a bit of romance between like our main character or side character or whatever with like a bad boy slash bad girl, just bad character. I don't know, I love it. I love seeing like a villain having a soft spot for somebody, having a soft spot, romantic feelings for somebody else, whether they're bad as well, whether they're good. I just love humanizing them a little bit with these romantic traits that just make you think like, oh, they're not all bad, they care about this one person. But like a villain that just has a crush or is in love with somebody. I just love a love story for like a bad boy or a villain. It's two kind of different. Like, it's the difference between being a bit of a bad boy and being a genuine psychopathic killer. We love reading fan fictions about characters like Loki, just me, and Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy was like one of my crushes back in the day. I read so many fan fictions about him. Oh god, that's so embarrassing talking about that. I used to write fan fictions as well. I still write fan fictions, by the way. Like, I just find it helps me to practice writing. I just make up my own characters and then like insert them into a story that's already developed. So like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, the Marvel universe. I just love creating a character, inserting them into that world, and then just giving them an adventure. I just find it's so much fun, and it's fun writing about characters that are already developed for you, and then you can create your own kind of storylines and different things. I don't know, I just love that, and I just feel like in a way it's like good practice, I feel, because it makes me kind of work on. It's not like, you know, when you were younger and if you ever wrote fan fiction or you read bad fan fiction and it was poorly written, I feel like if you write it well, like you're writing it like this is your book, this is your own story, and you keep at it and you improve your skills. I actually find the fanfiction writing is like the best way, for me anyway, to just practice. It maybe does kind of set you off on the wrong track from writing your own stories, but I suppose at the end of the day you can learn from it. Okay, so the third, honestly I don't even know what it's gonna be. The third trope, what do I want it to be? Do I want it to be? Meow. The third trope, what do I want the third trope to be? What do I want it to be? What do I want it to be? What do I want it? The third trope, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know if it's something I really read about a lot, but it's something that I personally love, is a main character that's maybe been in love, or this is kind of coming off my tropes from the last video, but a main character that's maybe started in a relationship or has developed feelings for a character throughout the series. So for example, like Katniss with Pia, they basically fell in love through the fact that they had to force each other to love each other. Well, Katniss did anyway. But I definitely feel like sometimes it's okay, and I feel like I would actually enjoy it depending on the kind of setting of the book, is if a main character ends up on their own by the end. Like, I personally feel like the Hunger Games ending would have been a whole lot better if Katniss was just maybe on her own for a bit. Like the whole her going back to District 12 with Peeta and having kids, and it's like, well, you just lived there yourself? Is there anybody else? Like, how are you gonna survive? How do you live? I know you can hunt, but like, I don't know. I really just wasn't a fan of that end. Sometimes I just feel like a main character ending on their own or realising they just want to be friends with their love interest is actually not that bad of an idea. Do you not think? Like, growth on your own. I enjoy being single, surprisingly. Being on your own for a little while ain't all that bad. So I definitely feel like it's okay to like have your main characters not fall in love by the end. We can't be single. Number 4. Dun dun dun. I talk about in my last video how I'm so done with chosen one tropes, but I've decided that I will include something similar that I do actually love in this video that I touched upon it in my last one, which is chosen one being revealed as not the person you thought it was, but somebody else. I've actually never read about this either in a book, and if anybody knows of stories where this is a thing, please let me know, because I would love to read about this. I just feel like you think that one character is the chosen one and everybody's rooting for them, everybody's kind of behind them, this person is going to be the one to save us, but then they don't. It's not actually them, it is somebody else, or they fail. What about a chosen one who fails and somebody else picks up the mantle? I just think that would be something that, especially in fantasy, should definitely be a thing. Like having one person, like in Harry Potter, I do love Harry Potter, I swear, but having just Harry Potter being the one that could stop Voldemort after Dumbledore died, I feel like, was there not a single other person in the wizarding universe that had the power, like Dumbledore, to be able to stop him? But yeah, chosen one tropes with other person being the chosen one than the person we initially thought, I would love that. I want to see that. I want that. Not the chosen one, the chosen one's best friend. Or even if like the chosen one was a lie. This kind of touches upon Game of Thrones. Even though I have not yet finished the books, I still have 2 books to go from the series that's already been published, and of course we are still waiting. We're still waiting, George. We're still waiting for these final books. I think this is supposed to be another 2. Please hurry up, please. I cannot just have the ending of a series 8. I just can't. I need a book ending as well to explain everything. But yeah, so because I haven't finished the books and there's still more to come, He doesn't really count, but I'm gonna include it from the TV show. That whole thing of the prince that was promised, that, forgive me, I cannot pronounce any of these names in Game of Thrones. Melisandre? Melisandre? The red woman. You know the one. She kept going on about this whole prince that was promised, which is sort of like a chosen one when you think about it. And it's like, after the show ended, spoiler alert for Game of Thrones, if any of you have not seen it, but the whole prince that was promised thing, I mean, unless I wasn't really paying attention, which I probably wasn't at times, did it ever really come to anything? We assumed it was Jon after a while. I did anyway. I thought it was going to be Jon Snow, and Jon we trust. So it's like, well, nothing ever really came of that, to be perfectly honest. So it's kind of the equivalent of a chosen one being promised and then nothing ever happening, nothing ever coming of it, which would actually be very disappointing if that happened in a book. And finally, the fifth trope that I love in books is... Well, let me just think for a long minute, because I'm doing this off the top of my head again. Oh, I got it. Okay, so this one's a bit of a... I don't know how to explain it, but this one is definitely it's unsatisfying, but it's sort of satisfying. And it's kind of a weird one. And I probably would have mixed feelings on it, but at the moment I feel like I actually enjoy it. Is when a book ends and the ending is sort of like... It's like an open ending, for example. So maybe your main characters, if it's a mystery or a thriller, maybe your main characters don't know the whole story. So when a story kind of ends and maybe people are left believing one thing, but then we, as the reader, get told the true ending. A book that I actually really liked that touched on this was Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, the woman who wrote The Girl on the Train. The ending to Into the Water was one of my favourite endings in a book. That last page, the last sentence basically revealed the killer, and I was like, ugh. It was just, I don't know, it was really nice because each chapter was told from like different perspectives, and we were from one character and they were kind of unhappy, they were unsatisfied, they were pretty sure that the wrong killer had confessed, or the wrong person had confessed to killing the crime to protect somebody else, but they had no proof to go off on that. This other person confessed, so they charged them with it, and it was like, okay, case solved, but I'm not exactly satisfied. And then we, as the reader, are gonna find out who the real killer was, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of like that. I like that. I mean, as long as we, the reader, get told the truth, I couldn't care less. I just feel like if we... Although a book as well that sort of did this was Cuckoo. I can't remember who wrote it, but Cuckoo ended with a bit of a kind of suspicious ending, I shall say, where the last chapter, the character is in a coma, and they basically say a few things about a character that is still living and breathing that makes you question them, and you think, oh my god, are the people around this character safe? Will they strike again? What? So that left me a little bit unsatisfied, because I was kind of worried for the other characters, but I was like, it ain't real, it's just a book. Unless there's another one, like, So, I don't know. I definitely feel like it can be done well at times, it could also be done wrong. So as long as I'm satisfied, it's all good. But that is definitely something that I do kind of like, if something's not 100% told to everybody else, but as long as we know, we the reader need to know the truth. That is the only way you can finish a good story. Like, there was recently a drama on the BBC called Dublin Murders, which is based on a book, 2 books I think. They incorporated 2 books into this one series, and so they all kind of like interlocked, and people were kind of complaining about it because, like, obviously it's one story and then there's another story, but they just put them together, and to be honest it was a bit of a mess, and it was one of those shows that I watched it all. I think there's about 6 episodes, and I just couldn't get into it because there was just so much being thrown at you. One of the running themes in this was that years ago, our main character was out in the woods with his 2 friends, and they mysteriously vanished, and he was found covered in blood, which wasn't his own, and his shirt was all torn and stuff, and the other 2 kids were just never found. And this whole time you're like, well, where are these kids? Were they killed? Were they taken? Did they run away? What happened? Did the little boy do it? And then it ended The series ended and we didn't get to find out. Everything else was solved. Like, there was the mysterious disappearance of these 2 kids and what happened to them years before. A little girl, or a teenage girl, had been killed in the same woods where these other 2 had gone missing. And then there was another girl, an older girl, had been killed that looked exactly like one of the detectives, and that was just a kind of crazy story. I low-key want to read these books, but at the same time I don't. But I was just like waiting, and then there was literally like 5 minutes to go, and my mum and I were kind of looking at each other like, are we gonna find out the truth? What's happening here? What is happening? And then it ended, and we didn't get to find out what happened to the 2 kids. And it's like, are you joking? Are you joking? Now I know in real life there are no happy endings. Little kids go missing all the time and we never find out what happened to them. But when it's a story, a fictional story, and it just ends without you finding out the truth, it's like, no. I need this. I need to know. That's not good enough. I needed to know the truth. You need all your questions answered. Even if the main characters don't know, we need to know. Even if they'd cut to like a scene of a body underground, I'd have been like, so they're dead, but who did it? But I'd still been satisfied by that. Whereas with this, it was like, well, where the hell did they go? Where did they go? Where are they? What is happening? I'm going to write to that author and I'm going to demand she tells me what she did to those kids. I could honestly rant about that. That went on to a kind of love-hate relationship with that trope, but I do definitely think it can be done well in a satisfying way. My legs are going to sleep right now, and it's probably nearly time for me to get ready, so I'd better start looking my stuff out. So thank you so much for watching this little video. I was going to say this quick video, but to be honest, I've been kind of rambling for about 20 minutes by the looks of it. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall definitely be making some more trope videos that are actually thought out and written down so that I'm not just thinking off the top of my head. I'm surprised I even got these to prepare for my list. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in my next one. I'm about to go out and get drunk. Bye guys.